Hello, Steve Isay 9. Well, it's Mardi Gras weekend, and I started watching a lot of the films that I have had backed up, gay films that I've been meaning to watch, and others I just didn't even know that I had. One is called Christopher and His Kind. Now, it was based on a book that was a memoir of a writer. It's basically covering his time living in Berlin in the 30s. Um, and it was kind of amazing in some ways. I mean, the cinematography and the location shooting was really stunning, and a couple of the male actors in this film was stunning, particularly the guy who played Hans. He's just the most beautiful, angelic man I think I've ever seen on screen. It's really strange later in the film where he ages about 15, 20 years, and he just looks like a regular human, not an angel. Um, but it's the story of this guy played by Matt, what's his name from Doctor Who? Matt Smith. God, how can I forget the name Smith? It's like so unusual. Um, this was sort of after he'd done Doctor Who and before he did the Game of Thrones sequel. And I don't get the thing with Matt Smith. I don't find him remotely attractive or interesting. Um, I didn't really like him in this film, but the story itself and the men that were around him were interesting. Yeah, he just goes to Berlin. He's basically just there, I think, to find, because he's like a rich guy from England. He's got a mother and a mansion he could be living in, but he just goes to Berlin, I think, just to have experiences and to live a little. And possibly because the sexuality seems to be a bit freer there, and they sort of explore the whole business of trade and so forth there, and that he stumbles across a guy on the train, an older gentleman who suggests a place where he could live and stay, and there's a lot of shenanigans in this building. Eventually, the Yahtzees rise to power and sort of ruin everything, of course. It has two main romances in the film. One, which just seems to have been him being played by a player, and the other one seems to be a genuine relationship with a guy called Hans, and he's the angelic one. They try to stay together. They try to leave Berlin together, but Germany together, and it doesn't work out. He ends up going to jail and going to the army, and then they meet each other like 15, 20 years later when he goes back. And he does have a family, he has a wife and children, and he does suggest that Matt could be a part of that. Not Matt, the guy. I just figure him as the actor's name. Could be part of their family. And what's really heartbreaking is to know that when this guy released his memoir, this book, he basically outed Hans and Heinz. His name, it's spelled just like Heinz baked beans, so I don't know how to say it without making it feel like I'm saying Heinz baked beans. And yeah, he never spoke to him again because yeah, so that was really upsetting to realize that he did that. I don't understand why he couldn't have been more discreet and still told the stories that he did. Um, there's a little bit of contempt for someone who just writes what happened to them without really changing or converting or just adapting anything. They just write it as it happens. It's very exposing for the other people involved and so forth, and doesn't require much talent or artistic anything. So yes, beautiful film, well shot, some couple of beautiful actors, interesting story, and kind of disturbing to see how the Yahtzees manipulated people and to see how people are being manipulated today by certain orange people. It's very disturbing because this film was done in 2011, so well before any of this was thought of. But yeah, I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. It's worth it just for the shots of looking up from the mother's grave, and some of the scenery and the angelic face of the last romantic interest of this guy. I'm going to go.